Hey guys, I'm Ryan Trout from PC Perspective. Just wanted to do a quick video and update and kind of let you guys know about a project we're working on here. First of all, big props go out to Scott at Tech Report for really pushing the idea of looking at GPU performance more than just frames per second. He's been doing it for quite a while now. We've been working on something for at least the last 6 to 8 months, but rather than just kind of duplicate the type of testing that he's doing because he's already doing a really good job at it, we wanted to try to offer a different voice, or at least a unique voice, something interesting, something a little bit more dynamic to at least add more information to the discussion that's going on about it. So we are looking at not using fraps and frame times, but measuring frame times really as the end user sees it directly. So what we did was we've been constructing and writing software for a different kind of system. This PC down here is actually only dedicated to capturing the output from our graphics testbed, which is actually sitting behind me. Right now we happen to have a couple of GTX 670s in it, but this is our normal GPU testbed. This is where we test all of our AMD and NVIDIA parts. The key to this system is actually this particular video card. This is a DataPath high-end dual-link DVI capture card. You can see it's just got a single DVI port on it. Not a whole lot of complicated hardware on it, but it's a fairly expensive piece of electronics, and it's responsible for capturing the raw data out of, in this case, our GPU testbed. Now it actually captures data completely in its uncompressed format, so we actually had to put a PCI Express-based SSD in here, an OCZ Revo Drive X2, I think 480 gig, because at some points we're writing almost 400 megabytes per second consistent over the time period that we're actually testing. So now what this card allows you to do is take the input directly from the computer. You can see over here, we actually have a dual-link DVI splitter that takes a single cable out of our testbed, so that way we don't have any confusion or possible problems with the multiple display connections. Going into a dual-link DVI splitter, one to our monitor and one actually goes to the back of this computer. And you can see here we have them set up. And what you're seeing here, this is the actual output of the game, and this is the output of this capture card, or the input of this capture card. And what you can see is they're exactly the same thing. And if we go through our settings here, what I'll actually do here is just go ahead and start this benchmark mode. This is Sleeping Dogs, just one of the games that we're looking at for the various versions of testing. You'll see we're running at 19 by 12 in this particular benchmark, and we're actually viewing it over here. Now, maybe more interesting is that we're writing some automation tools like this. We're calling it the PC Perspective Graphics Performance Tool, but it's very much a work in progress. Where it allows us to capture multiple resolutions, different time lengths, leaving notes and all that kind of stuff. And what this generates is actually a 30 seconds worth of video, is the exact frame by frame capture of the output from this. And what's unique about this is that this is exactly what the end user would see. This is what you will see on your display. There's no software or anything in between what this output is and what the consumer sees. So while frame times can be measured from this, we can also measure interesting things like if there are any drop frames, how long those frames are actually on the screen. With the capability to do this, we can cycle through this individually, but obviously the idea is to do it in software post and be able to kind of analyze this as we go in a quicker fashion. You can see that we can separate each individual frame. In here, we're just showing you some colored overlays, and we can measure your frame rate, we can measure your frame times, we can potentially measure stutter, we can potentially measure any kind of drop frame issues or any kind of runt frame issues. There's a lot of stuff you can get from this that you maybe can't get from just looking at things like fraps. So nothing yet to show. We're hoping probably by the end of January we'll have the capability to show you a lot of benchmarks and some of the interesting results that we have seen from using this system with external capture utility for measuring GPU performance. So I hope you guys are interested in that. And again, big props out to Scott for pushing this new performance metric on people. And I think we're going to have some interesting stuff to show in the conversation as well. Thanks, guys.